UOPB, OptionMillionaires.com on this Monday, July 16, 2018, a half hour before the opening bell. S&P 500 futures are down 0.05%. Oh no! We have Trump over talking to Putin right now, some sort of summit going on. We have, a lot of negative headlines concerning China. And of course, we have the tariffs with China. I was looking back, you look the last time we had that big VIX spike. This S&P 500 futures, by the way, we got over that 2,800 level last week, a really sharp move to the upside, a nice strong move, close over that 2,800 level on S&P 500 futures. This chart to me looks very bullish. A move up to new all-time record highs for the S&P 500 in the short to medium term. Looks in the cards still for me. You look at the NASDAQ 100 futures, new all-time record highs. This morning we're up 300% with the likes of Netflix reporting after the bell that could bolster the upside move. And if you look back the last 3 years from the VIX perspective, let's pull back a little bit. You can see the last time we popped up for the VIX was in the summer of 2015. You can see this move we had up. Do you remember? This was all China. They were banning short sales in China, actually putting people in jail. Big stakeholders and corporations could not sell their stock to try and slow down the downside for the market. And you look in China, the market's been pulling back as well. We have the tariffs, so a lot of negativity out of China. We're going to see a nice spike up in August like we saw back at the end of August in 2015. It's something to keep an eye on. If you look, though, I think the market is not topped. I think and I wrote a post about it about a year and a half ago, when the market will ultimately top, and we're not there yet. You can look at the reads I posted on the Option Millionaires site this morning at the article concerning when it is time to sell. I don't think we're there yet, although there's always caution in the market. A lot of headwinds, and of course, each of the headwinds we've seen since the lows of March 2009 have been a great buying opportunity. And we had some financials come out with their earnings on Friday. We had JP Morgan Chase, we had Citigroup, Wells Fargo. Most of the reaction was to the downside. I think it's going to be short-lived. I think that those stocks are going to head higher in the short to medium term. And a lot of it's got to do with the buybacks, because the buyback blackout period is now over for those corporations, which, of course, augmented their share buyback programs after the Fed stress tests just a week and a half ago. And you look at the XLF, we hit support, setting up for a nice break here and a possible higher move into the summer. We have earnings out this morning. We have BlackRock. We have a lot of earnings this week. Goldman Sachs is coming out tomorrow. Morgan Stanley. So some of these names, American Express, probably Capital One. So a lot of these corporations reporting earnings. I think we're going to see a move to the upside for the XLF financial ETF, which is going to help bolster the S&P 500 ETF spiders, which is breaking out. We broke out at a wedge. We broke out of this channel. Now up that 280 level. We got it real quick this morning before pulling back, and that's going to be a point of support as we break out to 286 and change. I think is the record high print on the S&P 500 ETF, the spiders. And I think before all is said and done with this market, that 300 level for the SPY is going to be hit. And breaking out last week was the NASDAQ QQQ, new all-time record high. I think it's going to continue to the upside. We have earnings reports, Netflix, technology still to report the next couple weeks, IBM, Microsoft, very bullish chart. Saw some options go through for the 110 strike. Look at the breakout we have for Microsoft just over the last two trading sessions. Broke out of this wonderful flagging pattern. We hit 105.43, a really strong move to the upside. I think 110 plus is in the cards for a name like Microsoft, which reports earnings, I believe, on Wednesday after the bell this week. Some other charts to watch. Again, the names that I'm still in long-term calls because these, we had that tariff tweet months ago from Trump that brought the market down on a Thursday. We had this past week, we had the tariffs bring down the market for a day. It was kind of a wasted day for the S&P 500. So it's tough being in those short-term calls when you know some sort of negativity could come out at any moment after the closing bell. But longer term, I like some of these stocks to the upside. GME, it's breaking off of 10-year long-term trendline support. I think a move up into the low 20s is coming over the next 6 to 9 months. Vitamin Shop, yeah, I know it's a sub $10 stock, but I like the consolidation recently here. I'm in some calls that expire this week, and I'm also in some calls that expire in the fall, and I think we're going to break up into double digits again. Imagine that, filling this gap, and then possibly could you imagine filling this gap? Do you remember Fossil was a stock that was in single digits, and look what's happened in 2017. Look at this, from 750, an earnings report sent it up significantly, and it's continued to the upside, coming up against resistance. And then we have American Express reporting earnings this week. Look at that nice consolidation here, right up in the triple digit range there, the 100. looks poised for a breakout to the upside. Capital One Financial, COF, looks poised for a break. Look at the consolidation, the tightening of the range there for COF. Domino's Pizza reports, probably getting a lot of upside momentum because of what's going on with Papa John's. So you can see Domino's setting up. This is a stock that I think is going to crumble back into the hundreds and under 100 when the proverbial stuff hits the fan down the road. But right now, it's continuing to borrow money to buy back its own stock, will augment its share price, and everything is rosy for Domino's. So no sense fighting it, especially with PZZA. And actually, if you look at Papa John's, look at the break to the downside. I don't know where this line came from, but if you look, Papa John's actually got such a better balance sheet than Domino's Pizza. I mean, if you would have looked at them, lined them up side by side, you would say, wow, Papa John's is a more financially sound company, but better run. And yet, Domino's Pizza's shareholders are getting rewarded because they just keep piling on the debt and buying back stock and issuing dividends, and a couple years ago, special dividends. So handing out the money to shareholders is the way to do it for as far as the stock price is concerned. Some other names to watch, Roku, which is breaking out, Netflix earnings. Look at these candles. Each one gets bigger every month. So we're in July, another bigger candle. Some other names to watch. We have Overstock, which could be breaking out here. You can see it's back over support resistance after a really was a head and shoulders setup to start 2018. We broke down. Looks like we're recovering here. I think a move up into the 50s and possible 60s short to medium term. All right, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. By the time this gets uploaded, it'll be about 15 minutes before the opening bell. Everyone have a great trading session. A lot of earnings this week. Going to be an exciting week. And we have a lot more the following weeks. So certainly exciting times in the market. UPB, I'll see you guys later.